What's up, everyone? We are in London for the Rebellion 2022. The reason we're here today, we've come to Trafalgar Square and we're kind of paying homage to Earthling Ed, who got us into doing this street activism probably for me about 6-7 years ago. So we thought we'd maybe tip our hat to Ed and also do our own thing here and speak to people on the street and see if we can get them to agree with us and get them on our side. So let's see how it goes. So we're part of Animal Rebellion, so we are specifically animal rights activists, so we're here to tell people what's happening to animals and animal agriculture that people don't know about. Well, animal agriculture is it's a disaster for the environment, absolute disaster. But it's also what happens to the animals, which is industrialised cruelty that most people do not know.
It's mad. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I've been to a few.
You've been to a few
things. Yeah, wait, are you from Northern Ireland?
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah. I've been to one in Northern Ireland.
You've been to a slaughterhouse in Northern Ireland?
Yeah, it's near Craigavon. I can't remember what it's called. Went with my girlfriend.
Why were you there?
We do chickens.
Yeah. Probably Moy Park?
Yes, that's it, Moy Park.
I've been there too.
Yeah. It's in Craigavon, isn't it?
So there's one in Craigavon and there's one in my hometown, which is Ballymena.
I could have went to that. No, I went to the one.
Why were you there?
Because basically it's mad. I was in a field next door to a house.
Okay.
So when I saw the cows all the time, I didn't realise that cows were actually conscious. And then, there was a couple of times when I was coming back to the fence, and I just remembered, I just knew that I wanted them to pay me attention more than they wanted to give me attention. So I was like,
cows near me all the time, man.
I knew that they would live their whole life without me killing them, and I just knew that they could do that.
Respect you, man. I'll give you it. Brilliant. I love that. I'm here for the animals. The environment matters. And
have you been to that Moy Park?
I've been to Moy Park. I've done vigils outside it. And I've been to Cranswick, is a pig slaughterhouse, which is a mile and a half from my house. We've been there, we negotiated with the manager to allow us to have the trucks stop, and we spend a few minutes with the pigs and film and stuff. So they built us a wee area in the car park, so as the trucks came in, they would stop for a few minutes, we could film the pigs, give them a bit of love that they've never ever had. And then they go into their death. Fucking terrible, man. Do you know how we kill pigs? So pigs, we kill them in gas chambers. So the place near my house.
That's not nice.
But man, I swear to God. So the pigs are really intelligent.
I've heard.
They're more intelligent than cows and chickens. They do these tests so they can figure out how to get food. Pigs are the fourth most intelligent animals. They're above some primates. They're as intelligent as a 3 or 4 year old human child. So when they arrive at the slaughterhouse, man, they're fucking terrified. I mean terrified. They do not want to go inside.
How do they know what's going to happen?
They hear the ones inside. So the guy gets on an electric pod, forces them inside, and they stand in this, it's like a concrete chute with a wall on each side they can't get out of, and they're queued up. And they have to stand there and listen to the ones screaming in the gas chamber in front of them.
They kill them one by one?
No, they put them into a thing called a gondola. It's like a cage, and there's 3 or 4 going at a time. It's like a Ferris wheel. What's that big Ferris wheel? It's like a smaller version of that Ferris wheel. So they pour in and it moves down, gassed. Next lot gassed, next lot gassed, and then they just fall out at the bottom. They hang them upside down, cut their throat. The worst part of that whole process is listening and seeing the terror in the faces of the ones that are about to go in, because they have to listen what's happening in the front. And man, they're fucking terrified.
They can't escape.
There's no way of escape. It is fucking terrible. They're doing 3,000 a day, man. 3,000 pigs a day. And the one in Cookstown, Carrow, are doing 4,000 a day.
What, in Northern Ireland?
In Northern Ireland alone. So that's like...
Do they breed them outside? Do they ever get...
No, they breed them in... You never see them. They're inside factory farms, which we did an exposure last year.
What, Tri-Fly Drone?
No, we went inside the farm at 3 o'clock in the morning. About 50 of us people came from...
I went there and I looked. At Moy Park, they're very high.
No, this was a farm.
Oh.
This is the farm. So pigs are bred in their hundreds.
The problem is, in Northern Ireland, even though, it's extremely bad to kill pigs, etc., etc., and where we are, in London, it's completely wrong that we disconnect with it. But some people in Northern Ireland, that's all they've known. And their family have literally grown up on making that sort of farm.
Everybody knows a farmer, or has a cousin who's a farmer, or an uncle who's a farmer, or their sister married into a farmer, because it's an agricultural community, and that's hard. But I've spoken to farmers who get it and understand. They don't really... Farmers produce... I don't blame farmers any more than I blame
of course.
everybody here, and I'm not pointing fingers at people here.
Yeah.
The people here are creating the demand.
Yeah, 100%.
Farmers will produce what people want to buy.
Yeah, of
Does that make
course.
sense? So if you take away the demand, the farmers will they'll grow something else, and you can grow. There's thousands of acres of green fields in Ireland where you could grow crops instead. It's much more efficient. It's much better for the environment, and animals don't have to suffer. That's the bottom line. But some farmers will say, "Oh, you're trying to do me out of a job and stuff," and I say to them,
the thing is, it is a kind of a fair point. Like if they've had animals in their family their whole life,
I get it.
generational, the land's been made.
And I think the government should help because animal agriculture is subsidised heavily. So without those subsidies, it's not even an industry that would be able to continue.
No, I didn't think it would be, considering how cheap steak is.
Yeah, subsidised heavily by the government.
Yeah.
And the other argument I have to, it's not really an argument, I say to farmers, they say you're trying to take my job away. But the arms industry is a good example of that. The arms industry, people make hundreds and thousands of pounds out of selling guns and weapons for like the war in Ukraine. But I wouldn't advocate that we drop bombs on innocent people just because it keeps somebody in a job.
No, of course.
So I wouldn't advocate that we arbitrarily kill animals just because it keeps somebody in a job. Does that make sense?
No, of course.
Yeah, and everybody can do something else. There's ways to diversify. You can grow crops. You can turn your. I know farmers have
People
turned
don't
their.
even know. Come on, like, we're at a point. Come on, like you don't go into a sandwich and get a meal deal and actually think, oh, that used to be alive. You just think, oh yeah, what do I fancy? No, it's a complete disconnect.
You're taught when you're young. It's an arbitrary line. Love cats and dogs and dolphins and horses. But these other animals, the ones that we typically wear, you're taught not to think about it at all. That's why I don't judge people. You're brought up in a society that teaches you that it's normal, it's needed, and it's necessary. None of those three things are true. So if you take away the necessity, people say, oh, we need to eat animals. Well, we absolutely don't. I'm proof of that. He's proof of that. Every vegan is proof of that. Without necessity, then what's the argument?
There isn't.
Taste.
Taste. That's it.
And to take somebody's life or taste.
Even then, that Beyond Burger's been proven. Like people have done blind taste tests on that, and I've seen people saying it's better.
Most people say, don't like vegan food. What have you tried? And they'll be like, I haven't even tried it.
No, they haven't. That's it.
There's a meme going around at the minute, and it says a guy saying to a vegan, I don't like tofu, and the vegan says, well, how do you prepare it? And he goes like, I've never actually tried it.
Yeah.
So vegan food's great. I probably eat better food now than I ever did
100%, and it gives you more energy. I find it gives you way more energy. I'm very active, so I need energy all the time.
I was a cyclist for 25 years.
Yeah.
The last 10 years I was eating a vegan diet. I'm 54, I was still competing when I was 50 at a high level.
Yeah.
So it's not needed. It's bad for you in fact. You're getting saturated fat, you're getting cholesterol, you're getting antibiotics. And I also personally believe that it's bad karma to eat animals because of the violence involved. It's violent to stab somebody in the throat or to throw them in a gas chamber.
I feel like they need to show people what goes on inside them gas chambers more. But even then, people just always tarnish all of it with the same brush. Oh, we don't want to see that. You know what I mean? It's like,
people do that because they know if they watch it, they're going to have to change or give something up, and people hold on to what they've always been doing. And the way I look at that is that change sometimes is good. And so for me personally, it's a weight off my shoulders that I am not paying people to do things to animals I would never do. And 999 people out of 1,000 people here would never.
no.
Like if you think about it, if I bought a lamb to people and said, let's kill this lamb, here's a knife. How many people would do that?
No way.
Yeah. So you're paying somebody else to do something.
And we're all hypocrites because we just regard one as more valuable than the other based on any, like the only thing is like companionship that a dog has that a chicken don't, and it's a bit more intelligent. And
that's human centrism that we look at it from our point of view. If we look at it from an animal's point of view, they value a lamb or a pig or a chicken values their life as much as a dog or a cat or a horse does.
Do you think that if everyone went vegan, we could potentially save the planet?
Yes. There's no point in me telling you all today. But you need to check. See these bottom two. Did I give you a card? Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I'll give you a card now. This is my YouTube. This is my Instagram. It's all interviews and activism and stuff. Cowspiracy and Seaspiracy.
I've watched Cowspiracy.
Yeah.
And my favourite one's the other one. That Earthings. That changed me.
Jesus Christ, man. Do you know what? I didn't get past the part where they were putting dogs into these bins and grass.
That bit's disgusting.
Man. what the fuck are we doing throwing animals in gas chambers? Terrible.
I honestly think in like 100 years' time, people will look back on this period and be like, oh, they were barbaric. How could they do that?
Why would you cause pain to a
Yeah,
being?
100%.
Animals feel pain and suffer the same way that you
Exactly.
do. Do you have a dog or a cat? Or?
I wouldn't kick it, no.
Yeah. And people say, oh, but they're not the same with us and they don't feel pain and stuff. If you put your hand in there and make it flame, you're going to fucking scream.
They do feel
An animal will do the same.
Why don't you kick it all the time then?
Yeah.
Why don't we just play football with a dog?
And people go crazy when Kurt Zuma kicked his cat.
Oh, mate, it's blatant hypocrisy.
So which is worse?
Exactly.
Kicking your cat or throwing an animal into a gas chamber and cutting his throat?
100%.
You know, so
that's why when I saw it, RSPCA making statements and all this, I was like, this is just, the whole world's gone mad.
The RSPCA are fucking terrible. They are basically saying it's okay to do this as long as we do it in a certain way. And I'm like, no, fuck that, man, it's not okay at all. So in the egg industry, for example, the male chicks don't produce any eggs. You know that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
They're just macerated. They're not the same hens that we use for chicken to eat.
Yeah.
So they're just dropped into a fucking blender on the day they're born.
Do you
find RSPCA say, yeah, this is the most humane method, therefore we certify it. Well, no.
Mate,
how are you protecting animals?
Morality, come on, like morality, you can't rely on like non-government organisations to tell you what is moral and what isn't. Yeah. Like it's been going on for years. Like,
do you know where my morality comes from, and probably where Steve come in there?
Ah, of course, exactly. You know what's right and what's wrong by looking at it. When you walk past a homeless person on your way to your house, you know in your heart that is not right. Yeah. But you look online and someone go, oh well, he's not looked for a job in the last 2 weeks. Oh, he's passed over opportunities all the time. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
We were walking around at the march the other day and we had stopped for a while and somebody went down the window and shouted, get a fucking job. And I'm with this guy, a couple of other people and another guy. We all work full time.
Mate,
I've come here to try and make a difference and he's trying to get a job. I have a job.
Mate, honestly, people who say that, I would honestly just brush it off the shoulders because 99% of people are just so docile. They eat so much crap, they watch so much crap, they literally just, their whole life is just balancing leisure and work. And if they do enough good stuff in their leisure time, the work just justifies itself. Don't like their job, they don't like what they do, they don't feel like they're contributing towards anything meaningful, but they do enough stuff in their leisure time to justify it, and then they'll go cast shade on people like yourself who devote your whole life.
Hate it. People think this is a hobby for me. That I'm just making wee YouTube videos and this is not a hobby for me.
Have you watched that film?
I am genuinely trying to help animals. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, and the environment.
I'm trying to make a difference.
And the environment.
So
I feel like when you see them,
I could be doing better things with my time.
100%. But you've gone to that slaughterhouse and you've seen them. So you've looked that animal in the eye, and you know.
I like the way you say person. Keep saying person because I see them as a person.
No, 100%.
Yeah,
I do as well. After I seen that cow that one time, I was just like, nah, these are. I never actually met cows before I went to her house. So her house was next to a farm.
You're in the city all the time.
Yeah, so I'm in the city.
I've cows all around me, man. They're really timid. But
yes, they are.
But they will if you stand long enough.
Yes.
Once they,
oh, mate,
you know what it is? They don't trust human beings because I'm not saying every farmer is deliberately cruel.
Why. We've literally they've got tags in areas. They've got like fucking tags on their arse.
We see the farmers herding them. They're running around with big sticks and stuff. And I'm not saying
and they've got tags
farmers
in
are beating their cows, but they're not treating them the way you and I would treat them.
And they've got like
they're scared of human beings, but you can gain their trust. I've gone into fields and sat down and they'll come around and lie with you and stuff.
I've seen videos on YouTube where they play pianos in the middle of a field and they all go around and see them. I know that they, I know.
You know what's even the worst thing of the lot? Near my house, there's it's about 5 miles away, a market for animals. So this market on a Friday morning, they have a dropped calf market. And the drop calf market is the industry term for baby boys from the dairy industry, because boy calves don't produce any milk.
Oh yeah.
So they'll do two things. Some farmers kill them on the day they're born. Little baby calves. The Friesians and Jerseys and Holsteins don't produce great meat. It's not worth the farmer raising them, so they'll just shoot them in the head on the day they're born. Some sell them at market for a few quid for dog food and stuff. Man, it's fucking terrible. Baby cows.
No, that is shocking.
I'll give you a card.
No, mate, it's been a pleasure having a conversation with you.
I respect
it's so crazy
One thing before you go. The top one.
Which one?
The top one. This one here.
Oh, it's called The Best Pizza in America.
Yeah, that's what it's
Who's
on
it
with
by?
YouTube. A guy called Gary Orowski, he's an activist
Oh
from
my
America.
God! Yes,
you
the
know
man
Gary?
from Israel.
Yeah.
Yes, I know the one.
Powerful
because
guy.
He said because he compared that with the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is controversial, but
Yeah.
it is a whole.
No, I don't think it's controversial at all.
No.
Saying something's the Holocaust is an understatement.
It's a Holocaust with a small h. The Holocaust. We all know what that refers to. But what's happening to animals, man, is worse than has happened to any people at any time in this world.
Mate,
And everybody's fine with, well, I don't think people are fine with it when they know the truth. It's different.
I'm in agreement.
I respect you, man.
Cheers for your time, man.
You too, man. Have a good day. That's good.
I will not be eating meat, man.
Yeah. Dairy products too, man. Probably even worse, so. Here, man. Have a good day. Respect to you, brother.